So one team I've been a bit hesitant to make a video on has been the Utah Jazz, as I didn't believe the stats backing up their success were impressive enough to warrant an entire video on. But after digging deeper, it's actually easy to see why the Jazz have looked like a real contending team as of late, and their success has lasted a bit longer than most fans have realized. If you guys enjoyed the video, then please give it a like, and if you're new to the channel, then hit that subscribe button and notification bell for more videos like this one. So I had been looking at the stats on the Utah Jazz over the past few weeks, but I wasn't sure if the numbers were impressive enough to make an entire video on. Well, after seeing this post here, I double backed and checked again. As you can see, the Jazz have more wins since the calendar flipped to 2024 than any other team in the NBA, and even by a few more games, as no other team has won more than 6 games yet in the month of January. As you can see here, the Jazz are 9-1 over their last 10 games, which is very impressive, and they've had to play 6 of the teams currently holding the top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference, meaning that those 6 teams would avoid the play-in tournament if the season ended today. And the only one that they lost to was the team holding the NBA's best record currently, the Boston Celtics. If we go back even further, over the team's last 19 games, which is over a month ago now, the Jazz have a record of 15-4 or 15-5 over the past 20 games, which is nevertheless still impressive. Over their last 20 games, they're tied for the most wins in the league, and over their last 19, they actually lead the league for the most games won over that stretch. Looking at the Jazz's team ratings, since December 13th, the Utah Jazz have the 7th best offensive rating, which is a drastic change from when the team had the 5th worst offensive rating in the whole league from the start of the season up until December 12th. The team has had the 10th best defensive rating in the NBA since December 13th, also, once again, a drastic improvement over when they had the 5th worst in the league prior to that date. And now, over this recent stretch, they've had the 6th best net rating in the entire league, opposed to when they had the 4th worst in the NBA prior to that. So the Jazz have clearly improved and become a team that opponents need to watch out for. But why is that? Well, one of the biggest reasons is that they're finally finding lineups and rotations that work out for them. The Jazz have had a number of guys in and out of the lineup, and the man who's clearly their best player, Lauri Markkanen, has missed 10 games for them over the course of this season. Over the past 19 games, though, Markkanen has only missed 2 of those games, and both were games that were on the second half of a back-to-back, so it makes sense. It seems, though, that the lineup that they've thrown out there over the last 10 games, which now includes second-year player Simone Fontecchio, has been the reason for their recent success. In their 123 minutes on the court together, the new Jazz starting lineup has a great net rating of 9.42. Looking at the top 6 seeds in the West, that's better than the starting group for the 2nd-seeded OKC Thunder and the 6th-seeded New Orleans Pelicans. I have no idea how to judge them versus the Mavs, as the Mavs have been dealing with more injuries than maybe any other team in the entire NBA, and these two lineups here have had absurd numbers, yet the Jazz blew out the Mavs when they used the second lineup shown here, so I guess who really knows. However, beyond the lineup change for Utah, their players have looked great over this recent stretch. One of the biggest changes has been Markkanen improving his shooting splits from the start of the season through December 12th from 48% from the field, 38% from 3, and 84% from the free throw line to now shooting 51% from the field, 41% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line, which are incredible shooting splits. Next up is the extreme improvement in Collin Sexton's play, going from averaging 12.7 points per game on 44% shooting from the field, 32% shooting from 3, and 87% from the free throw line, to now averaging 21.9 points per game on 52% shooting from the field, 41% shooting from 3, and 90% shooting from the free throw line since December 13th. So also putting up incredible 50, 40, 90 splits alongside Markkanen over said stretch. And finally, we've got to get to the man that I spoke on before, Simone Fontecchio. From the start of the season through December 12th, Fontecchio only played in 19 minutes per game while averaging 7.8 points per game on shooting splits of 44% from the field, 38% from 3, and 78% from the free throw line. Ever since December 13th, though, Fontecchio has put up nearly double-digit points per game, coming in with 9.8 points per game in 26.5 minutes per game, while doing that on shooting splits of 45% from the field, 40% from 3, and 76% from the free throw line. Over the past 10 games, which is when Fontecchio began starting for the Jazz, he's led the team in plus-minus rating, coming in with a 10.5 rating over that stretch. So clearly this team is finally figuring out what works for them and is finding their groove. They've gotten great play out of Clarkson, Horton Tucker, Collins, and George as well, but if I highlight the whole roster, the video will be 30 minutes long, and I did just want to shout them out though. The NBA did just postpone the Warriors and Jazz game that was originally scheduled for tonight, as a Warriors assistant coach has been hospitalized with a serious health issue, so I'm hoping for the best for him and hope he gets better soon. So while that game will be played at a later date, the Jazz still have some games that they can use as a measuring stick, or just measuring stick games, and test out if they're for real or not, as they'll be facing the Thunder, Rockets, and Pelicans over their next 3 games, and that'll really be able to tell us if the Jazz are a team that we need to take serious or not. And if they go 2-1 or win all 3 of those games, then other Western Conference teams better look out. Anyway though, let me know in the comments what you think about the Utah Jazz, any players, or any topics I talked about today. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, then make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm SCJ, and I am out. Peace.